Hello there. If you're finding yourself awake between 3 and 5 in the morning, you're not alone. A lot of people in this stage of life experience it, and while it might feel like just a restless habit, it could actually be a hidden opportunity. Waking up in these early hours can be a chance for something meaningful, a quiet time that brings clarity, peace, and even a new perspective on the day ahead. Now, I know what you might be thinking. At this age, we all have routines we're used to, and maybe it feels like everything we could try, we've already tried. But what if there were a few small, simple habits that could make these early hours feel truly worthwhile? And what if I told you that embracing this time might bring something unexpected and positive into your life? So today, I'll share 3 habits that don't take much effort, but could make a big difference. Each one is designed to help you feel more grounded, more at peace, and even more fulfilled. And trust me, you don't need any fancy tools or complicated steps, just a bit of time for yourself in these quiet moments. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Are you someone who often wakes up at these early hours? Let's talk about what you've noticed. And now, let's get into these habits that could bring a little extra joy and purpose to these peaceful mornings. 1. Embrace the quiet moments. Let me start by sharing a little story that might resonate with you. There's a man named Frank, a retired school teacher in his late 70s. Frank had always been a morning person, but after he retired, he started waking up even earlier, right around 3:30 in the morning. At first, he'd toss and turn, feeling frustrated that his body wouldn't just let him sleep through the night. But over time, he began to notice the stillness around him. The house was quiet, the world was at rest, and he realized he could use this time for himself, without interruptions. One morning, Frank made a decision. Instead of trying to force himself back to sleep, he got up, made himself a cup of tea, and simply sat by his window, watching the sky lighten. He found a kind of peace in these quiet moments that he hadn't felt in years. It was his chance to reflect, to feel calm, and to start the day with a clear mind. Embracing those quiet moments gave Frank something he never expected. He found himself feeling more grounded, more at ease. He often says that it's like a gift, this early morning hour, a rare time just for him. So, if you're awake at 3 or 4 in the morning, try this. Make yourself comfortable, sit quietly, and allow yourself to just be. You might discover a peaceful start to your day that you didn't even know you were missing. 2. Reflect on gratitude. Let me tell you about Helen, a remarkable woman in her early 80s. Helen spent most of her life as a nurse, helping others and being there for her family. After retirement, she faced some health challenges, and like many of us, she sometimes struggled with feeling restless or waking up at odd hours. One night, when she found herself wide awake at 4 a.m., she decided to try something new. She sat up, closed her eyes, and thought about 3 things she was grateful for. It started small, things like the comfort of her warm blanket, memories of her family, and the gentle sound of rain outside. As she focused on these simple blessings, she felt a warmth inside her that she hadn't felt in a long time. Over time, this became Helen's morning ritual. Each time she woke up in those early hours, she would reflect on what she was grateful for, even if it was just for a few minutes. She says it has changed the way she feels every morning, giving her a sense of calm and happiness that stays with her all day. So, if you find yourself awake before the sun, try this. Take a few moments to think about 3 things you're grateful for. It can be as simple as the comfort of your bed or a memory that makes you smile. This small act of gratitude can fill those quiet hours with warmth and bring a brighter start to your day. 3. Gentle stretching to awaken the body. Now, let's talk about Robert. Robert is 79 and spent most of his life working as a carpenter. Over the years, his body took on the usual wear and tear, and he began to feel stiff, especially in the mornings. He would often wake up between 3 and 5 a.m., unable to go back to sleep, and feel frustrated by the aches that seemed to come with aging. One morning, Robert decided to do something different. He got up, stood by his bed, and began to stretch. Nothing fancy, just gentle movements to ease his back and loosen up his legs. He didn't try to push himself, just a few simple stretches that felt good. And he noticed something surprising. As he moved, his body felt lighter and his mind felt clearer. Now stretching has become part of his early morning routine. Every time he wakes up, he spends just 5 minutes doing simple stretches. Robert says it's like giving his body a gentle wake-up call without any rush or pressure. Those few minutes help him start his day feeling more comfortable and ready to move. So, if you're awake in the early hours, try this. Stand up and do a few gentle stretches, focusing on your arms, legs, and back. Take your time, breathe deeply, and enjoy each movement. It's a simple habit that can help you feel more relaxed, easing any stiffness and bringing a sense of lightness to your morning. 4. Self-affirmations for a positive mindset. Let me share a story about Margaret, a retired librarian who's now in her early 80s. Margaret is someone who's seen a lot in life. She's faced ups and downs, health scares, and the challenges that come with aging. Recently, she found herself waking up around 4 a.m., often feeling a bit anxious about the day ahead. One morning, Margaret tried something new. She stood in front of her mirror, looked herself in the eyes and said, "I am strong, I am here, and I am grateful for today." It felt a little strange at first, but she noticed a shift. Saying those words out loud made her feel more confident, as if she was giving herself permission to feel good about the day ahead. Now, this has become her early morning ritual. Every time she wakes up, she tells herself a few simple affirmations. I am strong. I am capable. I am loved. Margaret believes these words are like a gentle reminder to herself, helping her feel positive and ready to face the day with courage. If you find yourself awake in those early hours, try speaking a few kind words to yourself. Say something that uplifts you, like, I am grateful for today, or I am capable of handling whatever comes my way. These small affirmations can set a positive tone for the entire day and remind you of your strength and resilience. Set a simple intention for the day. Now, let's talk about Sam, a retired mechanic in his late 70s. Sam's life was always busy, fixing cars, raising kids, helping friends with projects. When he retired, he struggled to find the same sense of purpose, especially in the mornings when he'd wake up way before the sun. One day around 4:30 a.m., Sam decided to try something different. He sat in his favorite chair, closed his eyes, and thought about what he wanted to focus on that day. He kept it simple. Today, I'll spend some time in my garden. That small intention gave him a sense of purpose and something to look forward to, without feeling overwhelming. Over time, this practice became part of Sam's early morning routine. Each time he woke up early, he'd think about one small, meaningful thing he wanted to do that day. Some days it was calling a friend he hadn't spoken to in a while. Other days it was enjoying a quiet walk around his neighborhood. Setting this intention helped Sam feel grounded, giving him a reason to look forward to the day. He says it makes each morning feel fresh, like he's starting with a small goal that brings him joy. So if you're awake before the day begins, try setting a simple intention for yourself. It doesn't have to be big, just something that makes you feel happy or fulfilled. Whether it's reading a chapter of a book, calling a family member, or enjoying a nice cup of tea, having that little intention can make each day feel meaningful. 9. Find comfort in your unique life story. Lastly, let me share a story about Edna, an 84-year-old who often wakes up around 5 a.m. and spends time reminiscing about her past. Edna was a dancer in her youth and later became a teacher, sharing her love for dance with younger generations. She's had a life filled with adventure, laughter, and even heartbreak, but every chapter has left her with memories that make her who she is today. One morning, she realized that each time she woke up early, she had a chance to reflect on these memories, like flipping through the pages of a storybook. She began looking back on all the unique experiences she's had, traveling, teaching, raising her family, and the lessons she's learned along the way. Rather than dwelling on regrets or missed opportunities, Edna found comfort in cherishing the full, colorful story of her life. Embrace these quiet moments as gifts. As we wrap up, remember this. These early morning hours can feel like hidden gifts. They're a time when the world is quiet, and you have a unique chance to connect with yourself, your memories, and your own wisdom. Whether it's through moments of reflection, gentle movements, or setting intentions for the day, each habit we've talked about is a way of embracing the life you've built and honoring the journey that brought you here. If you've tried any of these habits or if you plan to, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Share what brings you peace in these early hours, or maybe something that's helped you feel connected to yourself again. Remember, these mornings are a chance for you to find joy, purpose, and calm, all before the day truly begins. Thank you for being here and for sharing these moments with me.